Hey folks, how you doing? How's it going? It is good to be with you once again, talking about music and records as always. In this video, I'm only going to talk about one album. Well, it's a box set, a vinyl box set celebrating one album, but it's a very important album to me personally. So let's get into this. What we're going to talk about is No Jacket Required, fully tailored by Phil Collins. This is the 40th anniversary box set for the album No Jacket Required, and it just came out recently. It sounds great. It's a nice package, and like I said earlier, this is a very special album to me personally. When I first bought this album, I was interested in the drums, plain drums, and that came from Stuart Copeland and the Police. As a typical teenager during the 80s, watching the Police videos on MTV, every time they would show Stuart Copeland behind the kit, I would say, my God, he looks cool playing that drum set, as he still does now. And that got me really interested in the drums, but I was still intimidated by it, because I kept thinking to myself, yeah, it looks cool, but there's no way I can do it as good as him. I'll never be that good at it, so I can never do that, so forget it. Until I bought this album and listened to it and loved the drum sound on it, and then went to see a show during the No Jacket Required tour in Sacramento in 1985. June of 1985 is when I saw him, Phil Collins. And when Phil Collins walked on the stage to start the show, he walked on the stage by himself, sat behind his white Gretsch drum set, and played the tom-tom pattern to the song I Don't Care Anymore. And the drums just were very loud and powerful, and they just filled the whole amphitheater, and people just lost their shit and started cheering and cheering him on and screaming out like crazy. It was an amazing moment, and from that moment on, I was completely hooked on him as a drummer, and it inspired me to give drumming a try, to give it a try. I wanted to at least try. I may not be as good as Phil Collins or Stuart Copeland, but after that show, I had been listening to the album for a few months, and went to go see the show, and that inspired me to get up, get my own drum set, try my best to learn how to play it, and just try to become a solid drummer in my own right. In fact, last night, I played drums last night with my band. We did a show last night. So 40 years later, I'm still behind the kit thanks to this guy, thanks to his drumming, thanks to that concert in June of 85. 40 years later, I'm still doing it. So that's why this album means so much to me. And when the news came out that they're putting out a 40th anniversary box set for it, I had to have it. Price was no object. I wanted it. Thank God they didn't charge too much for it. But anyway, let's go into this, and I'll talk about the records in it. It's a 4-record set, like I said, and it does come with a picture book, which is really nice. So the first record is No Jacket Required, remastered, done in half-speed mastering at Abbey Road Studios, and it's a solid remaster, very solid. And it even has the original photo on the album artwork, on the album cover. About 10 years or so, maybe longer ago, when Phil Collins first put out a box set of all his solo records, he redid the album covers, photos of his face, what his face looks like currently, just to show that it was something new. And folks didn't like that. They thought it looked creepy seeing an old Phil Collins on all the album covers. I thought it was a nice touch. I didn't criticize. I actually liked the idea of him doing that. But for this box set, they went back to the original picture, which should make people happy, I hope. And it has the original photo in the sleeve. So really nice there. And it has a custom label, a black custom label. My old copies had the Atlantic Records logo on the label, so it's nice to see this custom label here. Nice touch. And like I said, this is a great remaster. It's a fantastic remaster. My two favorite songs on here are the last two, which is Inside Out and Take Me Home. Those two songs really make the album for me. They're my favorite songs on the record. So I'm glad that those two songs close out this really good album. I mean, all the songs are great. Not a weak track on this album. Um, it does sound dated. It does sound very 80s because of the electronic drum sound and the keyboard sounds he choose to use. It does make it sound 80s, but the music is so good. It's so well written. The studio production is out very well. It's a good remaster, so it's like the sound got a facelift. And there's some great songs on this album. What I always found interesting about this record was Phil Collins had a reputation of being a fantastic drummer, 70s and 80s, what he did with Genesis in the 70s and his band Brand X. He definitely had some chops behind the drum kit. That was his reputation. And now we get to this solo album, and most of the drums and the percussion on this album is electronic and programmed from drum machines. Very little acoustic drumming on this album, coming from a guy that's a drummer. I think out of the 10 songs, only 3 songs have acoustic drums, which is I Don't Want to Know, Inside Out, and Doesn't Anybody Stay Together Anymore. The rest are kind of electronic drums. It is him playing the drum fills, even though the drum machine's playing a lot of the heavy lifting, playing the beat. He'll come do the drum fills on the acoustic toms on some of the songs, like Don't Lose My Number, for example. It does that. But despite that, it's still a really good drum sound. It inspired me to want to play the drums myself. And I would actually practice to this album. I would play Studio, Only You Know and I Know, Don't Lose My Number were the songs I played mostly. Really good, really good memories. I mean, this is what got me started as a drummer, and I'm still there. So cool that this got the treatment of a box set and a good, solid remaster. It sounds fantastic. I relive so many memories when I listen to that album. It does sound a little dated, but it's still one of my favorites. Okay, now we're going to go into record 2 of this set. Record 2. And these are the live versions, and this is a photo they put on the cover of record 2. Really a promo photo from 1985, and then a live photo from 1985 on the back cover. Really nice. And these are all live cuts, which includes the songs The Studio, Don't Lose My Number, Who Said I Would, Long, Long Way to Go, Only You Know and I Know, Easy Lover, and Inside Out. All live versions. A lot of it is taken from Paris of 97, Berlin of 1990, and I think one song on here is actually, which is Who Said I Would, was taken from Dallas, Texas in 1985. So here's a picture on the inside sleeve, and this photo was taken from the tour program from the No Jacket Required tour back in 1985. That's where a lot of these photos came from, was that tour program. So nice. And this also has a custom label. It's like an orange label. So am I doing this? Oh, it goes this way. So some really good live versions from different eras, different years, but all the songs are from this No Jacket era, which I really like. What I would really like to note, though, is a live version that closes out this whole record. Last song on side B, Inside Out, taken from Berlin, 1990. Great live version of Inside Out. Chester Thompson really kills the drum set on this song from Inside Out. God, he's such a good drummer. I mean, I'm heavily influenced by Phil Collins as a drummer, but equally also influenced by Chester Thompson, because it's his job on stage to become Phil Collins, the drummer, on his solo shows and on the Genesis shows. So that's a tough job when the boss is looking like, I played those drums, you better do me right. That must be a tough gig. But Chester Thompson does it well. He's a powerhouse. And he's on most of these, so really, really cool. Really, really cool. And so I'm really glad that they included a great live version of Inside Out. Don't Lose My Number is interesting because they include the horn section in the live version of that song, and that doesn't exist on the studio recording. So it's really cool that we get the version where the horns are a part of the song. And Don't Lose My Number, it shows how Phil kept changing it up as the years went on with these older songs. When he's like, he didn't change the arrangement, it's still a song we recognize, he just added a little bit of extra flavor to it by bringing in the horn section in certain parts. Really nice. Really nice. Long way to go live, which was Paris in 1987. A little different from the studio version. They take out the electronic drums and replace it with Chester Thompson playing brushes lightly on the snare drum. Not on that one. I'm sorry. That one was just they did take out the electronic drums, and it's just a piano and guitar and vocal performance. It's done pretty good. I prefer the original version, but it's nice to see that little change up. Basically, there's some great live tracks on this album. They're really cool to have on vinyl for the first time, especially Inside Out and Only You Know and I Know. They're killer live tracks, and I really love listening to this. This record too is really, really popular with me. I absolutely love the choices they made with it. Very good stuff. Okay, let's go on to record 3 of this set. And it has my favorite picture on the cover. There you are. Anything with Phil Collins behind the drums will be my favorite picture, and that's a really good one. So I'm glad there's at least one cover with him on the drums on it. And a very nice photo in the back. And again, more live tracks, a different mixture. Excuse me. The track listing on this one is Doesn't Anybody Stay Together Anymore, One More Night, Take Me Home, One More Night Again, Long Way to Go Again, Against All Odds, and the Studio, all live tracks. Doesn't Anyone Stay Together Anymore? Now this is from Paris 1997. This is, well, I made the mistake earlier. They take electronic drums out of the song. They replace it with Chester Thompson playing brushes on the snare drum very lightly. And they do it as a ballad, which I never cared for. It sounds okay. I mean, I don't think it sounds lousy, but I much prefer the original version. Full-on drums, big sound with the bass and the guitar and the keys, and just strip it down to a very soft ballad. I wasn't good with that decision. I mean, when he reimagined some of his songs live, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. This one did not work for me. I much prefer the album version over this scaled down live version. It doesn't work for me. Great version of One More Night live on here, especially the ending when it just drops in with just keyboard strings with harmony vocals and a beautiful sax solo. It's a beautiful ending to this song, which is a great ballad from No Jacket. One of the best songs on the album. One More Night's always been one of my favorite ballads from him. And he does it well in this live version. Oh, and they included the live version of Take Me Home, Berlin 1990. It's such a great song live, Take Me Home. At the last chorus is a big sing-along with Phil. The crowd sings that song, Take Me Home. And he shines a spotlight on the crowd, panning from left to right, so everybody is seen as they're singing along with Phil on that last big chorus. That's how he did it when I saw him in '85, and that was such a strong in-concert moment. It sounds great on the album, Take Me Home, but it sounds even better live. And it's a great live version. And this particular live version that they captured on this album, Chester Thompson is once again killing it on the drums. How he interprets Phil Collins' drum parts and plays them the way they should be played, but at the same time adding his own personal flair to it, really shows on this live version of Take Me Home. Excellent. It's excellent. And I love listening to it on this record set. It is so good. So good. Absolutely love it. One More Night BBC live version. This is recorded in '85. It's just a version of that song with Phil Collins singing it on and playing piano only. And it's actually really good. He does a good job of it. I just don't know if I would have put both versions of One More Night on one record. You know, the full band version live on side A and then the solo performance of it on side B. I don't know if I would have put them both on the same record. I would have spread it out throughout the set. But hey, they don't consult me when they put this together. Another version of Long, Long Way to Go, but this is the Live Aid version from 1985, and it's a duet he did with Sting live on stage during the Live Aid concert in London. Sting originally appears on the studio version of Long, Long Way to Go, so it was good to see they recreated that on the Live Aid stage, and it's nice to have a vinyl version of that cut. I like that. I like it a lot, so I'm glad it's included on here. A live version of Against All Odds from 1985 in Dallas, Texas. Sounds really good. Definitely one of Phil's best ballads is Against All Odds. And the jazzy version of Sussudio. This is an era in the late 90s where Phil Collins was going on the road playing drums only in his own big band jazz band. This is big band jazz, and he was doing these big band jazz versions of his songs and some Genesis songs. And Sussudio was on here, and they actually rearranged it for a big band jazz band, and it sounds really good. I know this album exists, Hot Night in Paris. I never got it for some reason. I'm just not into that era where he was doing the big band jazz, though his drumming is really good on it. I've seen videos of him playing with the jazz band, and his drumming was fantastic. So maybe I should get it, but I guess you could say I'm just not that interested. But he does do a great job on it. All right, the last record on here, number 4, and this is the demos and other recordings. So that's the pictures on the cover, and okay, all these inner sleeve photos were taken from the No Jacket tour program, so that's where they're getting all these photos from. Now, the side A of this 4th record, it only includes demo recordings of songs that were on the No Jacket album, which is Only You Know and I Know, One More Night, Take Me Home, Sussudio. We get the demos, all those demos of all those songs on side A. And I like when they put demos on these records because I like to see how the song evolved from just a song idea that you get down on tape all the way to the big studio production that is on the album. So you get to see how these songs evolved and grew, and it's interesting. I like to listen to that kind of stuff, and these demos sound really good. So I'm glad they included it. So on side B we have some unreleased tracks that mostly can be found on 12-inch B-sides, which is The Man with the Horn, I Like the Way, We Said Hello Goodbye, and well, we'll get to the last 2 songs later. Those three songs, especially The Man with the Horn, I've always liked it. Not a great song, but I do like it. I Like the Way, really good B-side, well, unreleased track. It's a B-side on singles, but it should have been a single. It's a really cool sounding, it's almost like an R&B sounding song, R&B pop song, but it sounds really great. I wish he had released that as a single. It's that good. We Said Hello Goodbye, it was included as an extra track when this No Jacket Required album was released on CD. They included it as an extra track, so it closed that version of No Jacket. It's an okay song. I like it. Not my favorite, but I don't mind having it on this collection. It's nice to have it on here. And it's not a bad song. Then we get to the next song on this. And this needs a little bit of talking about. The Medley Mega Mix, which is a mix of 4 Phil Collins songs, like a DJ mix. And yeah, it's this four songs kind of morphing, four Phil Collins songs morphing into each other, and that I could have did without. There's no need to put that on here. I heard it once when I first bought this package, to hear everything at once in one sitting. I am never going back to the medley mega mix. It just doesn't need to be on this set. Back when they were releasing, when they first released the No Jacket album, he put out an album of 12-inch mixes for his singles. They could have took any one of those songs off of that 12-incher mixes album, like The Studio or Take Me Home, or Don't Lose My Number, and they could have put one of those where this mega mix is, and that would have been a better choice. I don't like the medley mega mix. I don't like it, and I don't want it on here, and I'll never listen to it again. All right, that's my sour grapes there. And the last song to close out this whole collection is the song "Separate Lives," and that was a ballad he did with as a duet with I think her name was Marilyn Martin, who's the lady singer. It was a song written by Stephen Bishop, so Phil didn't write the song; he just sang it. But it's a great song. Well, no, it's a good song. Great's giving it too much. It's a good song. I like listening to the studio version of it. When Phil plays it live, he slows it down a lot. He takes out all the drums, so it's just piano and keyboard and guitar and the duet between him and the female vocalist. And they sing it so slow, it just drags and drags. And usually when I see Phil Collins live, well, I saw him in his final farewell tour. When he sang that song, I got up and took a piss, because I did not want to sit through that song. I love the recorded version. I hate the live version because he plays it so slow. I mean, it's already slow to begin with, and he slowed it even more. And I hate the live version, but I love the studio version, so I'm glad it's on there. All right, and then the last thing on here is the picture book. And it's mostly pictures from the tour program and some promotional shots of Phil, and an essay written by some journalist I've never heard of. But some cool pictures in here. I'll get to the funny one. Well, here's the horn section he used live during that time. It's the Phoenix horn section. They're famous for playing with Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they were with Phil for quite a long time. His first 4 albums, his first 3 tours, and this is from the tour program. This funny photo here, especially this one here. This cracks me up. This cracks me up. It's a funny photo. It's from the tour program, but I'm glad it's included because it was from that era of 1985. So there. And there's a nice picture of him in the studio with Philip Bailey, most likely recording Easy Lover. So, nice. And Easy Lover, they include the live version of it on this. And then a bunch of pictures of Phil Collins on the last few pages. Really nice, really nice. A good set. Well worth the money. I'm glad I got it. Like I said, it was a very personal record for me. And I love that album. I love it to death. It stood the test of time with me, probably because I adore every song on that album. And it's nice that it got this vinyl box set treatment. It's going to be one of my favorite box sets in my collection. Hopefully it'll be part of your collection too if you see this, and hopefully it motivated you to at least check it out. Anyway, that's going to do it. Leave me some comments if you're a fan of this album, or maybe you saw Phil Collins live at some point. Please share your stories and your memories. I would love to read them and answer back. All right. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care, everyone. See you next time.